What's up, guys? It's Gio, and welcome back to the second bonus episode that we have here of our Push 1500 UU series. In the last episode, we were able to get our rank, please, up to 1448. We're going to try to get to 1500 in today's episode. We're still going to be using Liberal Lucario, aka Nolan's team, because his team is really rad. So let's jump straight into the action. Let's see if we can find a battle relatively quick here. Hopefully we can, and we don't just crash and burn immediately with some like ladder socket hang-up issue or anything, because that would really stink. But we are 34-13, which I do think is a fairly good record for someone who has barely played in UU, and we do get a match here. I feel like I've faced this team before. I really do. We have Mega Aerodactyl, who's kind of an issue. We have physically defensive Slowbro, right? Yeah, physically defensive Slowbro. We have probably Banded Entei, Scarfed Hydreigon, specially defensive Snorlax, and Sableye, who's just really annoying. So I'm going to lead off with my Swampert for the purposes of getting up rocks, and also because, oh, he leads with Aerodactyl. Alright, I was going to say for the purposes of taking on Sableye, but if this thing is out, I'm fine with that. I can hit you up with this Scald. Get that burn, please. Aw, okay. I'm going to get up my rocks, predicting the switch in a Slowbro. He ends up going down to Sableye, which is fine by me, because now we each have rocks on our side of the field, meaning that I can defog and get up rocks later if I so do desire. I'm going to go ahead and go straight away for the Earthquake, hoping... Okay, he goes for knockoff. Okay, he knocks me off, and he's going to get knocked out by the next Earthquake. Hopefully he doesn't Willow. He ends up Willowing, but he misses the Willow, which is great for me. He barely avoids... the knockout. Now he's forced to recover or die to EQ. I'm going to go for EQ again as he recovers. Depending on damage rolls, I'm going to be able to take him out with one of these. That Willow miss really did matter, and that is a bit unfortunate for him. Hopefully I can take him out here, please. Oh man, this is unfortunate. So we're stuck in a war of me stalling out his recovers, and just kind of forcing him to continue to recover. A crit Earthquake would be nice, but I have already gotten a crit this match. There's my crit Earthquake. I wouldn't be surprised if he forfeits, because this is just really hacksy. I've already ensured that his Aerodactyl dies to Stealth Rocks. His Entei takes 25%. He doesn't have anything for the Snorlax right now. His best two switch-ins here are his Hydreigon and his Slowbro, because they can deal with this thing relatively well. I can try to burn... Oh, here comes Snorlax. I'm not too scared about this thing setting up, because I can always just roar it out. Snorlax doesn't have an astounding physical defense, if I remember correctly. He ends up cursing. Yeah, he has base 65 defense, which isn't great, but if he thinks I'm going to let him sit in here and set up, he's wrong. I'm just going to roar him out. Hopefully I roar him into his Aerodactyl and pick up a free knockout. Roar him into Hydreigon, which isn't really a problem, because I can go straight back into into Florges, take the Draco really nicely, and go for the Wish to Wish Pass out into whatever he wants to go into. Here comes Aerodactyl, so he let me get off a free Wish, and now I get essentially a free switch into anything I want. I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw Entei here, but we end up seeing Snorlax. I'm going to Wish Pass into Jirachi, because I just think Jirachi has a really good matchup. He's going to end up cursing. That is bad. I'm going to flinch him. Can we get some flinches going, Jirachi? I rarely try to bank on hacks like this, but at this point it just kind of stinks. I'm gonna go into Swampert and roar him back out. Hopefully he doesn't do massive amounts of damage, because I may have just lost the match. If that is the case, he ends up resting. If he gets... So this is like the physical variant of Crocoon. He ends up getting rest off Sleep Talk, meaning I am going to be able to successfully roar him out. Here comes Hydreigon again. I'm going to predict him to go for, like, Dark Pulse or something, maybe? I don't know. Question marks. I'm going to go back into Florges, because it can eat up any hit this Hydreigon wants to go for. Ends up going for another Draco. I'm fine with that. I'm going to go for the Moonblast here to scout what he wants to go into. Looks like his switch for Florges is going to be Entei, which is fine by me, because I can continue to assert some very good pressure on Entei with things like Swampert and Houndoom. I'm going to protect to see what he locks himself into, because it's looking like he's either banded or scarfed, because if Hydreigon is a Scarfer, and it's kind of playing like a Scarfer right now, then Entei's probably banded. He ends up locking himself in on Sacred Fire. That's fine by me. I'm just going to go out in a Houndoom here, because Houndoom can do some serious work to this dude's team after I weaken Snorlax a little bit more. Snorlax is sleeping, not sweeping, thank goodness, which is nice. He ends up making a good double out to Snorlax. I'm not going to want to stay in for the fear of Earthquake, so I'm going to go out into Jirachi, I guess, and try to get some flinch action going on. Don't get a curse, please. Don't get a curse. He ends up getting a body slam. No para, which is nice. So I'm going to just start iron heading him because he has like one more turn of sleep. Hopefully he flinches here. No. I do get the flinch, but that was his last turn of sleep. So he's going to probably try to start cursing up here. Actually, he just goes out in a Slowbro. I'm fine with this. I can hit him up with an Energy Ball, is technically stronger. So we're going to go for Energy Ball. That is about 58%. I'll take that. I get the Spadef drop. He ends up T-waving me, which is a bit unfortunate. But I'm just going to go for the U-turn here because I'm not sure he's going to want to stay in seeing the damage. Ends up going out in a Snorlax. That's fine by me. I do get the U-turn off, meaning that I can go into my Swampert here, I guess. Maybe. I don't have a whole lot for Snorlax. I'm gonna go into Swampert because I know he can't just freely start setting up in my face as long as as long as Swampert is still kicking. So I'm gonna go for an Earthquake here. That is about 27%. He ends up going for the Body Slam. He gets the para, which is a bit unfortunate. But I do think I'm gonna be able to deal with this. I'm just gonna roar it out. That was a terrible voice crack. I'm gonna roar it out right here. I did predict the rest. As that would provide me a great opportunity to roar. Here comes Entei. I'm fine with this. I'm going to go into Florges, expecting anything but the fire move. He's going to go for the E-Speed, knowing that he can't lock himself into anything else. I'm going to Wish here, as he is not banded Entei. He goes for Sacred Fire, gets the burn, but that's kind of expected. You kind of have to expect that on Entei. At this point, I think I'm going to go out in a Hydreigon and drop a Draco on something. That may be my best course of action, I guess. No, I'm going out of Swampert. We're going to see if we can take a Sacred Fire. He goes for the E-Speed. I'm going to be able to Wish back up, which is great, and hit him up with an Earthquake, which is going to do a lot of damage. Let's see how much Earthquake does. Earthquake does about 22%, which isn't anything necessarily to write home about, but hey, I'll take the damage where we can get it. So what's his switch going to be for Mew? Ends up going for Slack Off, which is a good play on his part. I'm going to go for the knockoff here. I need to keep rocks on the field because it forces him to pretty much sack Entei. I knock off his leftovers, and that confirms my suspicion that Slowbro is very, very, very physically bulky. This is not looking good for me right now. I have 3 Pokemon that are paralyzed. Florges isn't 20%, probably can't handle another rock switch. I'm going to go out in a Jirachi here, both as fodder and to kind of scout what he wants to go for. Oh man, at first I thought I was in a very, very good position in this match with the hacks I got early on Aerodactyl and Sableye, but it's kind of turned itself around. He ends up going for a Scald, that is about 30%. I know I can get close to knocking him out with an Energy Ball from here, but he's probably going to predict that and go into Snorlax, so I'm going to go for the Iron Head, predicting him to switch into Snorlax, because that would be very, very good for me. He ends up going out into Entei. I think I can knock it out. I am able to knock out Entei, giving me the 6-3 advantage, but at this point, he actually has a very, very good matchup against the rest of my team, because I need him to go for Draco in order to deal with Hydreigon. And Slowbro is just going to be a pain in the butt. I get parried, he goes for the Scald, isn't going to be able to knock me out. But basically, back to what I was saying, I need to force him to go for Draco whenever he's in with Hydreigon. Yes, I get the para. Yes, yes, yes. Another Energy Ball can knock it out. He goes into Snorlax. I probably should have predicted that. But I'm going to continue to try to Iron Head flinch him just because I do think it is my best course of action. So he ends up going back out in the Slowbro. That's a good play on his part. As I end up getting parried, I'm going to go for an Iron Head, predicting him to double back out into Snorlax. That is what ends up happening, and this is fine with me. He's just taking a lot of rocks damage. But he's also burning off sleep turns, which is a little bit of a problem. He's fast asleep. Gets the curse. That's not good. And my Iron Heads are going to be doing nothing. I'm going to U-turn out because on the off chance... Oh, I outsped him. Then what happened? I'm going to go into Spidef Mew here just because Spidef Mew isn't going to be... Oh, never mind. He got the body slam. That's not good. That is not good at all. I believe he outspeeds me here, so I'm going to go for the Willow and render anything... Oh, he rests again. Gosh, dang it. I do not like this thing at all. I'm going to go for the knockoff to get rid of its leftovers because that will help me a lot. He ends up getting another curse. It's safe for me to defog here so I can bring in Houndoom easier. At this point, I'm almost sacking Mew just because I don't think I'm going to need Mew for anything else in the match. If Snorlax can rest off burns, I don't really care about Hydreigon's Scarf because I can sack something else to a Draco. And if he goes for a Dark Pulse, then I get a free switch into my own Hydreigon. So now the rocks are gone. How many turns of sleep is that for him? Rest 1, 2. So he's waking up next turn. I'm going to go for the Willow, hoping that... Oh, I outsped him. Well, that's kind of awkward. Looks like it's close to a speed tie. He's almost going to be able to knock me out. I'm kind of wondering if Swampert's going to be able to tank another hit. I'm going to go in sad. No. I didn't mean to sack Florges. No. Alright. Well, that's a bit unfortunate. I'm hoping Swampert can tank a body slam or else I just lost. He's able to tank a body slam and gets parried. Oh, man, that is frustrating. So that is going to be the match. Unless I get like a crit Draco with Hydreigon, then there's no way I can take on the Snorlax, which is a bit unfortunate. Because I really did have the game. And gosh dang it. Geo, what are you doing, man? We're going to go for another Draco. I guess here I gotta hope for a crit Flamethrower. Please be a crit. Nah. Goes for the body slam, is able to take me out. So I guess that's why you don't play around with Snorlax. I'm going to go for the Willow on the off chance he doesn't rest. Ends up going for the rest. Alright, I'm just going to forfeit. That's a good game. Triple G's. Alright. So we're at 1448. What is this going to take us down to? That's going to take us down to 1424, so we're going to grab another match. Wow, this team is scary. Toxicroak, Crocodile, or is it physically offensive Toxicroak? Probably, he has a lot of options for Scarfers here. He has basically two or three things on his team where I have no idea what they're going to do. Crocodile, Mew, and Crobat, because Crobat can do a lot of different things. But I believe my best lead here is going to be Swampert because it gets up rocks and stops Volt Switch. So I'm going to want to keep Swampert around here for those two reasons alone. Just because that's going to help me a lot in the match. And looks like we are lagging a little bit, which is unfortunate. But we're 13 minutes in. That's not that great. Here's Crocodile. So this means Crocodile is probably going to just be his Rocks user. I'm going to go for the Scald here. I understand that his Toxic... Oh, that does a lot. That Scald, please get a burn. Nope. Alright. That's great. I understand his Crocodile has dry... not his Crocodile has dry skin. His Toxicroak has dry skin. So I'm going to go for the Earthquake here. I was kind of expecting him to switch. He didn't, but I'm able to take out Crocodile. So that's good. That is one thing out of the way that I was scared about. Because Dark types honestly do cause this team some problems. Here comes Crobat. I'm going to get my rocks up. I'm assuming he's just going to U-turn here. I wouldn't see any reason why. He ends up going straight away for the Brave Bird, which was the better play on his part. But now this allows me to go into Jirachi, because Jirachi is a fairly solid answer to Crobat. I'm going to go for the U-turn here, expecting him to... oh, he just taunts. That's great. I was under the impression he was going to switch. So now I guess I'm going into Hydreigon, and I'm going to drop a Draco on something, because that's cool. Actually, I'm going to U-turn again, expecting him to switch out. He ends up going down to Cobalion. So now I'm kind of getting a feel for what his switch into Hydreigon is going to be. And that's going to help me later in the match a lot. I believe this thing has base 109. 108 speed, yeah. Alright, so that's going to help me later in the match, because then I can potentially hit it with a flamethrower. I'm going to go into Mew here, because burning this thing would be very appreciated. So Willow, hopefully you don't knock me out with something weird. You end up going for the taunt. You have like 7 taunt users, dude. I'm going to go, and I'm not knocking it. Obviously it's working. Hopefully no knockoff is coming. He ends up going for his rocks, which is fine by me, I guess. I'm going to end up going for the U-turn. He ends up going for the Volt Switch, so it looks like he is a special variant of Cobalion. Here comes Raikou, so that's, I guess, good knowledge for me to have. I'm going to go out into Floor just because I know this thing can't do anything to me, and I'm, dang it, I should have gotten out into Mew. I'm going to Wish here because I know he's probably going to Volt Switch. Yeah, here comes the Volt Switch. He's probably going to go back out into Cobalion, because Cobalion can hit me with like a Flash Cannon or something. Or a Crobat would also be a good switch on his part, just because he can stop me from just like staying in and stalling him out. So yeah, here comes Crobat. So now I'm probably just going to Wish Pass into Jirachi, because Jirachi's going to be crucial for me to take out a lot of his mons later in the match. Here comes a U-turn. I'm going to be at full health afterwards, and I outspeed all of his team, I think. So here's Jirachi. I'm fine with this. I'm just going to U-turn on out. So this is a match that's very predicated on momentum right now. And right now he's using the momentum to his favor. Okay, so here's Crobat again. I'm going to go out into Mew and Defog. Actually, no, I'm going to go out into Mew and Knock Off, because I know he's going to taunt me to stop me from defogging or willowing. Or he just goes straight away for the Brave Bird. Didn't see that coming, but that knockoff is going to do a little bit. Knockoff is Sky Plate. I'm going to go for the Soft Boiled here. Hopefully he taunts this time. Great. Alright, so I'm going to go back out into my Jirachi here, just because Jirachi can stop Crobat. As I've talked about before, he's just going to end up going straight away for the Roost. That's fine by me. I'm gonna reveal Shadow Ball. Hopefully he switches into Mew. And ends up going into Raikou, but I'm fine with getting off some chip damage on Raikou. And I don't have anything to stop his Volt Switch, so I'm going to go for a U-turn. Looks like he's Scarfed right. No, he may not be Scarfed Raikou. But I get the U-turn damage off. That's pretty good. So I'm going to go back out into my Florges, and I'm going to Aromatherapy to get rid of that status right there on Jirachi, because that's going to be very helpful for later in the match. It looks like he is choiced in some fashion with Raikou. That's pretty cool. I'm trying to think what I'm going to go out into here. I'm going to Protect to see if he predicts my Jirachi. He ends up going for the Drain Punch. That kind of freaks me out. I'm going to go into... Eesh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do against this thing. I'm going to go out into Jirachi. Hopefully he goes for like the Poison move and ends up going for the Drain Punch. Turns out he's Life Orb. I have a problem with this. I guess I'm just going to go in and Flamethrower, predicting the Cobalion, because that's what a switch was last time for Hydreigon. Oh boy, I do not want to go back to 1400. Come on now. So, Flamethrower, this is going to do a little more because you have Dry Skin. Ends up going into Mew. That's a good switch on his part because he knew I wouldn't go for the Dark Pulse. But now I think I'm just going to have to go out into Florges to take the U-turn, because I do think the U-turn is coming. U-turn or Volt Switch. And then we're going for the Nightshade. Alright, I'm fine with this, because this is going to allow me to get my Florges back up to a decent amount of health. Crobat is here, and because I lost Jirachi, I don't really have anything great to deal with this. So I know he has Taunt, Roost, U-turn, and Brave Bird. So I'm going to Protect to get back up to full HP. He ends up just going for the U-turn, which is fine with me, because then I feel more comfortable going for a Moonblast. As he ends up taunting, that's fine. If you Brave Bird, I'm fairly certain I can take a hit. Yeah, only about 44%. This, I think, forces him to go for the Roost. So I'm going to go out into my Mew. Nah. How about Hydreigon? I'm going to go out and Hydreigon here. As he ends up roosting, which is fine by me. And I'm just going to go ahead and drop a Draco because I think he's going to stay in. No, he goes out into Cabalion, so that's where I should have predicted the Flamethrower. This is just going swimmingly. I'm going to predict the Fighting type move and go into my Mew. I'm still fearing the Flash Cannon or something. Flash Cannon or something. Ends up going for the Iron Head, so it looks like he's mixed. Hopefully I can live after the next one. Please live. Come on, Mew. Come on, Mew. You got it, Mew. Let's go, Mew. Or he just Volt Switches. That'd be wonderful, predicting the switch. But he doesn't really have any reason to. He's going to be able to take me out with another Iron Head, and that is disappointing. I know he has Volt Switch and Iron Head. What am I going to do about this? I'm going to go out into Houndoom here. It's a risky play, but I kind of have to make it. I'm going to go for the Flamethrower here. It is a fairly obvious play, but he doesn't have a whole lot that wants to take a Flamethrower from a Mega Houndoom. I just have to hope he doesn't have Fighting Stab. He ends up going for the Volt Switch, which is great for me, which kind of confirms that he doesn't have a Fighting Stab. He has Taunt, Volt Switch, Stealth Rocks, and Iron Head. That's great. But now something's going to have to take a Flamethrower. Something's going to have to get roasted. Going out into Mew to take it. That, I suppose, is a good play on his part. What have we seen out of his Mew so far? What did we see? Oh, we saw Nightshade. That's all we've seen. So we can assume this is a defensive variant of Mew. I'm going to go straight for the Flame Charge, hoping he doesn't have T-Wave. If he has T-Wave, I'm in trouble. Ends up going for the Nightshade. That's fine by me, because I can go for the Dark Pulse here, and now I outspeed all of his team, including Crobat, which was the reason I ended up going for the Flame Charge. And I suppose my strategy for dealing with, let me actually calculate to see how much a Sucker Punch is going to do from Toxicroak, because that is what ends up coming out here. Toxicroak versus Mega Houndoom. Sucker Punch does about 19 to 23%. So this is playing with fire here. I'm going to go for the Flamethrower. Sucker Punch gets a crit and takes me out. Ugh, I lost. That is disappointing. I was going to sweep his team with that, too. I'm going to go straight away for a Draco here. Oh, man. Come on. Alright, I'm going to be able to take him out with the Draco. And now my plan of attack is going to be switch out into Florges, sack Florges to something, because I know I can't do a whole lot to the rest of his team, and then come in and try to flinch with Dark Pulses. I end up going out into Cabalion, which forces my hand into Florges. He's going to be able to take me out with an Iron Head here. I'm not living Stab Iron Head. Now I have the choice to go for crit Dracos or go for Dark Pulse flinches. I think I'm going to go for a Flamethrower, actually, just to take this thing out, get this thing out of here, at least make the score look a little bit better. Who knows, maybe I can get like a couple of crit burns. Actually, I may be able to take Raikou out from this range, so it'll come down to, can I get a burn? He's Scarfed HP Ice or HP Fighting. Probably HP Ice. So here comes Crobat. If I get a crit, then I'm good. I don't get a crit. It wouldn't have taken him out anyway. He takes me out with the U-turn. That was a very good game. But we're going to end off our session there just before I lose any more points. We're at 14-11. We're like 3 points higher than we started. But anyway, if you guys did enjoy the episode, please make sure to leave a like rating, as it really does help show support for the channel and stuff that I am doing. Additionally, make sure to leave a comment about what you guys thought of this team. And additionally, do you guys want to see me continue doing push 1500 in the UU tier? I know there's other tiers to explore. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to reach 1500. Just because if you look at the ladder, 1500 would actually put me on the ladder. I'm not quite on the ladder now, but that would be amazing. Like, if I was able to get up to there to 1500. So, tell me if you guys want to see me continue doing UU. Other than that, make sure to subscribe if you guys are enjoying the constant content. With that, I'll catch you on the flip-flop.